and welcome to the very first episode of the TalkinTwenties Podcast, presented by 999 Nutrition. I'm your co-host, Jojo.
And I'm Dan. The TalkinTwenties Pod. During this pod, we will talk about sports, lifestyle, and current events. To get us started today, we'll be talking about Bill Belichick and his snub on not being first ballot Hall of Fame in the National Football League. Joe? Go.
Yeah, so with Bill Belichick, I think it's an interesting situation. I mean, he coached the greatest quarterback of all time, no debate. Tom Brady is the GOAT, no debate. Every year that they won, they've had a consistent top 10 defense, which you can say he had a part in. He was the defensive coordinator for the New York Giants, and he won 2 Super Bowls with them. So you can say he contributed to the Patriots' defensive success. At the same time, though, the players are the ones who are playing. Bill's not out there suiting up playing. So if you have, the number 1 defensive corner in the league in Ty Law, if you have Hall of Fame safeties and linebackers on your team's going to do good. So you pair that with the greatest quarterback of all time, I can see why many will say Bill didn't directly contribute to the Patriots dynasty and all their success. However, it takes a great coach to have a great team. And I think if you place any other coach there, they don't win, 6 Super Bowls, 7 Super Bowls? I think their success was a direct influence of Bill Belichick's nature. What do you think?
I'd have to agree there, Joe. Not only did they have Ty Law, he also coached Mike Vrabel, who's now the coach of the Patriots and is now in the Super Bowl. Vrabel had a good stint in Tennessee, and he carried Belichick's values, and now look at him, first-year head coach of the Patriots, who I believe won more than 10 games, 12 games this year?
I think 12.
So 12. The turnaround is remarkable, and he credits Belichick for that mentality. It's the Patriot way. It started with Belichick, and it's carried on through Vrabel.
There you go.
So I believe that Belichick should have been a first-ballot Hall of Famer. Even if you count, he might have cheated, Spygate, Deflategate. Okay, take away those. As a head coach, he still has 4 chips.
Yeah.
There's other coaches in the Hall of Fame with only 4 Super Bowls. He's definitely a first ballot Hall of Famer. This is a travesty to the game, to be honest.
I would have to agree. But now, some counterpoints would be, you look at his first year at UNC. He wins 2, 3 ball games, if that?
College is a whole different animal, especially with it's not NIL anymore, fellas. It's pay to play. My family member graduated from high school 2021. He went to a university, played his 4 years, and now he's at the workforce. Many of these cats, like Pavia, bro, it's time to get a job. You're on the downside of 25, you got to figure out life.
100% I agree. So in other news, you got the NFL Pro Bowl coming up, where you have great players from each conference coming together and share a game. Now, some argue that game has been diminished over the years. That's besides the point. You have about 2 to 3 quarterbacks from each conference that get selected. Great quarterbacks in the NFC like Jordan Love, Matthew Stafford. From the NFC, maybe Bo Nix or Trevor Lawrence. But there's been a surprising pick this year for quarterback in the AFC. That is Shedeur Sanders. I watched the cat play in college. I'll give it to him. He's a great arm talent, great quarterback. But is he a Pro Bowl worthy quarterback?
I don't think Shedeur's a Pro Bowl quarterback. Granted, he's in Cleveland. Maybe the hardest place to win, to be honest. They have more QBs they have double the amount of QBs in the last 10 years the Steelers have ever had as a franchise head coach.
Yep.
I mean, that's ridiculous.
Same division, too.
Same division. But Shedeur, he's not a Pro Bowler. You can't throw 7 touchdowns and have 10 interceptions and get the nod.
100%.
Now, granted, it turned into flag football a few years ago, which to me is utterly wrong. The game used to be highly competitive when you had players like Ray Lewis, Ed Reed,
Sean Taylor. Come on now.
I mean, the game used to be a game. Now we're playing flag football, drinking in Hawaii.
Yep. That's exactly what it is.
In Tampa.
Yep.
What are we doing here? Shedeur is not a Pro Bowl quarterback. And he was a 5th-round quarterback for a reason.
The question everyone wants to know, why don't you think he's a Pro Bowl quarterback?
You can't throw more interceptions than touchdowns and say you're a Pro Bowl quarterback. There's other quarterbacks who could have easily got the nod over him.
So why do you think they selected him to playing the Pro Bowl.
It's his daddy. It's the name. It's the Sanders name. It has to do with the Sanders. They're always going to get the nod. They're going to get the recognition. If you look at Colorado last year, they regressed from what they did 2 years ago. Now, granted, this year, they got a new OC. He's a very good OC. They brought in some good transfer portal recruits. I think they'll have a better year this year. But Deion's name will carry through his kids and their kids until they're done playing football.
Okay. It's a solid take. I agree with the fact that Shador is not a Pro Bowl level quarterback. I mean, you have guys like Lamar Jackson, who was injured for a good half of the year, but when he came back, he balled. You know, some of those losses weren't on him. You have Derrick Henry fumbling multiple times in the fourth quarter. That's costly. It's not on Lamar. You got quarterbacks like Trevor Lawrence, who leads his team to the playoffs with a new head coach, but they give it to Shador. I'm not saying he's not a good quarterback, but there's other selections to be made.
Moving right along to our next topic. This one's a little bit of a fun one. Jay Boolin versus Tismara. They've had a little rivalry on TikTok about who's the best eater of food. Now, that may seem a little silly, but it is kind of funny. You might know Boolin from his feel me after every other word or every other bite. He's known for 10 breads and doing the hezzy, where he hezzies food and he doesn't drink water. He can't drink water. Now, you might know Tismara.
He can't drink water? I have no clue who Jay Boolin is. He can't drink water? Are you serious?
It's part of his gimmick where he starts to choke if he drinks anything other than a sugar drink. Tismara is known for foods in the backpack method. He frequents New York, and him and Jay Boolin recently came together and did a stream. It was very comical. I would highly recommend you check it out if you're into a little bit of a goofy comedy.
So moving on to the next topic, the NBA, but more in specific, the Sacramento Kings. You know, we are both Kings fans, lifelong. We've been here since the Darren Collison days, since Tyreek Evans, since Quincy AC. We've seen the Beam Team. We've seen the highs. We've seen the lows. But man, this year, maybe an all-time worse. You have a group of older players, not young stars that are struggling finding their way in the league. You have players that are aging out of the league on massive contracts, and they refuse to win. I don't understand. They show up, they give poor effort. The fans seem like they have more passion than the players. They don't dive for loose balls. They don't go for rebounds. They're getting ran out the gym. When 2-3 years ago, they had the highest points per game in the league. They had a backcourt of De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk, with Domantas Sabonis at the center, grabbing every rebound whenever they miss a shot. I mean, you go from what was it, 48 wins?
Yep.
You go from 48 wins one season, being the third seed, and taking the defending champs to 7 games, and three years later, you're in last place in the NBA, and your team's a mockery. What do you think?
I attended one of those 7 games, and I will say, as a lifelong fan, it was the best sporting event I've ever been to. The amount of electricity that was in that building, it felt like I was in the upper level. It felt like the seat was going to fall through me. Okay? Now, for the current state, you know, they got a new GM that used to work in the organization years ago, and they made fringe signings like Dennis Schroeder.
Oh yeah.
And at the time, Russell Westbrook. Now, Westbrook has panned out. He's been playing well. They just traded Schroeder for DeAndre Hunter, who is averaging 14 points a game on 30% from 3. And now, 2 years ago, when the Kings were relevant, we would have loved to get him in and play some defense. But right now, he's ranked one of the worst defensively in the whole NBA. So he's not bringing much to the table, and they got rid of their former two-way star, Keon Ellis, who, if I'm not mistaken, was shooting near 40% from 3.
He was balling out.
So, in my opinion, the current state of the Kings is very rough. Sabonis gets hurt every other game. Keegan Murray is out a ton. Levine plays no defense. He even had a fan who's a clothing designer call him out. That's embarrassing. You make $50 million a year and you can't play defense? Now, DeRozan, he's scoring most nights. Last night he had a bad game, granted, against the Wizards, but he picked up in the second half. Most games he's scoring because he's trying to get off the team. He would love to go back to LA.
Oh, yeah.
They've tried trading LaVine because the GM doesn't like LaVine, but no team wants LaVine. He plays no defense. Now, if you know me personally, I've been saying this for 2 years since they got him. It is abysmal the way he plays.
I 100% agree.
The highlight of his career, other than the one time he became an All-Star,
The dunk contest.
the dunk contest.
Yep.
Yeah. Kings are in shambles. I think even if they got a top 3 pick, I hate to be pessimistic about this, they're not going to draft who you think. They're not going to get Peterson.
I think if they get a top 3 pick, they get it wrong. Like they did with Marvin Bagley. Like
Fredette.
Exactly.
Fredette had a good career in China.
And if they do get it right, and they choose the best player in the draft class, and he pans out to be, Rookie of the Year, maybe an All-Star within his first year or two, I think he's gone by the end of his rookie contract. And I'm not saying this because I'm a salty Kings fan who's never seen a championship. I'm saying this because of pattern recognition.
Yep.
You have De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis leading your team to the playoffs for the first time in 18 years. 2 years later, one of them's gone and the other one's leaving.
I agree. And wrapping it up here, we're both going to be Kings fans the rest of our lives.
Oh, yeah.
So we're ride or die. We're in our 20s. We've had one good year in our about 20 years of life. It's egregious the way this franchise has been ran and is continuing to run. If something doesn't change soon, I wouldn't be surprised if the NBA moves them out of Sacramento. Commissioner David Stern fought hard to keep Sacramento here. But you know what? If they don't start winning, eventually the fans are going to stop showing up like they do with the A's.
I agree. I completely agree. But at the same time, you can't knock the fans. The fans have showed up. The fans will be there. But will the organization be there for them? So a quick message from our sponsor, 999 Nutrition. 999 Nutrition will be here to guide your everyday needs, whether that's in the weight room or if you're about to go clock into a long day of work. The tactical grade pre-workout will get you through that hard day. With 150 milligrams of caffeine per scoop, it'll give you that kickstart of energy to get you through your day. Go to 999nutrition.com to get yours today.
For a limited time only, they have the Training Day Special, which includes the tactical grade pre-workout, a bag, and some wrist wraps for all your lifting needs. It is only $49.99 on 999nutrition.com. Get yours today. Thank you to 999 for sponsoring the TalkinTwenties Pod.
Yeah.
Now for our final topic, we'll be talking about recently what we've been lifting and our favorite exercises. Joe?
Yeah, so I've been going to the gym for consistently about 2 years now. I've started, in high school I would work out for sports. I'd go I'd try to go every day, but I would never eat right. I would never lift right. I didn't really know the science behind it and the rep ranges. So I would just go for show, really. But now I've locked in. I'm eating right. I'm lifting right. So I think it's a big part of my life now. My favorite exercises, I've recently become a fan of doing the rear delts, specifically the ones where you bend over the bench and lift the dumbbells behind you. I'm a big fan of those. I feel like those really work.
Okay, nice. I too played sports all growing up and through high school. I got a little bit veered off the track once high school ended and I entered university. But as of a month ago, I'm back on it. I go to the gym 5 days a week and I'm eating right. The past month, I'm down 15 pounds and I'm gonna keep going. And I would say my favorite workout is either seated dips. I really like the pump my triceps get from that. Or I like pec flies. I feel like when you squeeze the pec, that pump, especially with that 999 Nutrition, you'll be feeling that for hours to come.
Oh yeah, no better feeling. So you've been going to the gym a lot recently. You've bounced around from gym to gym trying to find the right one for you. So tell me, what do you like in your gym? Are you a fan of having basketball courts? Do you need a swimming pool, a sauna? What do you like?
See, historically, I've always liked to have a sauna. I think sauna is very important. It helps with the health. It makes you feel better, I feel like. And in high school, I would love the basketball courts.
Oh, yeah.
Really enjoyed playing basketball every single day. I still like playing basketball recreationally, but I don't play at a gym. The current gym I go to, it only has weights and cardio equipment. But for the price point, you can't beat it.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's the thing with certain gyms, especially in cities that are smaller, is you're going to have your high-end club studios, but then you're also going to have the Planet Fitnesses of the world. And there's a spot for everybody.
You know, I agree with that. I agree. You know, every gym should meet your needs. You know, just because you see someone online who they go to a gym that offers X, Y, and Z doesn't mean you need to go to that one. You know, find one that works best for you and what you like. You know, if you're a fan of Smith machines, go to Planet Fitness. And if that's all you use is Smith machines and weights like that, Planet Fitness, perfect choice for you. Now, if you're a little more hardcore and you want to go to a powerlifting gym, so be it. Go ahead. If you want to do functional lifts, you know, you want to play basketball, find a gym near you that offers that. You know, some people say some gym memberships are a waste, they're too much money. But when you break it down, you look at some gyms, you know, they cost a lot. And, you know, maybe they don't offer things at other gyms that cost less, but they offer more. You're also paying for availability. You know, you show up to the gym, yeah, your gym might have more equipment, but it might have more people. You show up at 5 p.m., long day of work, you want to get a nice lift in, now you gotta wait, you know, 10, 20, 30 minutes just for a barbell to be open. Whereas if you pay more and there's less people, you value your time a little better.
And you know what? One last thing to wrap it up. You can answer back to what I'm about to say. Ever since I've been back in the gym this last month at a gym that's not the highest price point, I will say when I go 4 o'clock, 4:30, 5, and I see high school kids, because you can tell by the way they act, when you come to the gym to work out, you can't show up in jeans. When you were in high school and you had PE, did your teacher let you run in jeans? No, they would give you a citation or let you go borrow some clothes. So I think that's a problem in current day. A lot of people, I understand rest between sets. That's perfectly normal. There's science behind that. But to sit there on TikTok, scrolling, or to walk away, another thing that irks me, you walk away from a machine and leave your bag to go touch another machine, that's not cool, especially in a gym that has less equipment. What do you think about that, Joe?
It's a complete disregard for the others around you. If you're going to use a machine, that's going to be the only machine you're using, in my opinion. I don't go to the gym, do a set on incline bench, leave my bag down and go do tricep push down. It's just not what I'm going to do. You know, I'm the type, if someone comes, you know, hey, can I work in with you? Go ahead, you know, let's get after it. So, I agree, gym etiquette has to be good, but as far, you know, the years that I've been in the gym, I think there's a lot more people that are willing to help and get better with you than there are that are, you know, just there for themselves and just focusing on whatever they want to do. So I think if you do go to the gym, you know, be social, talk to people, you know, interact. You know, everyone's there to get better in life, so take it for what it is.
One last thing. You got to live by a motto of ELE, everyone loves everyone. And I feel like my experience in the gym has shown that. And you know what? Don't be afraid to start your journey today. It starts one day or day one. You got to take advantage of opportunities when they come. Thank you for tuning in to the first episode of the TalkinTwenties Pod, sponsored by 999 Nutrition. Get your tactical grade pre-workout now at 999nutrition.com. Thank you, and we're signing off.